Welcome to the show, where today we're looking at the latest cases in the coronavirus and some interesting and some old topics that we're going to go back to. We may get to that later, but right now, let's give you the very latest on this COVID-19 situation. Here in the Coastal Bend. This comes after 2 days ago, which was on Saturday. As of today, 46 travel-related cases, 9 are still under investigation, 2 new cases, 0 new cases, person-to-persons, 13 new cases, 3 deaths in surveillance as of yet today, as we come on the year. Number of cases for male, number of cases for female, 64, 83 for male, 63, 56%, 44%. Age groups, the age groups are going high. That's the very latest on the numbers. Now, let's go into phase 2 of Governor Greg Abbott's order. For those of you who have not tuned into the news, there are lots of phases going on. He's going to plan to reopen all of the salon/barbershops. But it's going to be to where, it's also going to be to where you're going to have to stand 6 feet apart. If you don't stand like 6 feet apart, then the order will not be in place. So what you're going to have to do is come up with a plan. And as of Friday, 1 customer for Silas, masks are required, appointments are recommended by walk-ins, and May 18th, offices within office buildings, non-essential manufacturers, and gyms can reopen. So in 2 weeks from now, so next week we're going to look at that phase. Regarding offices, it cannot exceed 25%, must stagger work segments, and gyms cannot exceed 25%. So I'm happy that Governor Greg Abbott is moving forward with these phases so that as he begins the second phase of Texas reopening, and I hope that one day we can be able to, and I hope that one day we can try to move on to the next phase of reopening Texas as we try to see near to the future of Texas. There's so much more to coming up. I'll give me a break, including a brand new topic which I haven't even, including new truancy laws. What can that mean for next year? Plus, why fast food restaurants are not opening, because of why fast food restaurants are not going through with the Governor Greg Abbott's order, and later. Sure, teachers have the right to use jamming devices. That's all coming up. I think sometime about a week or two, sometime weeks ago, we told you about a teacher who was suspended for using a cell phone jammer in his class. The purpose of this, he said, was to help focus on the academic process. But he thought wrong. What he did before that was he acknowledged the district. And under FCC laws, it is illegal for that to happen. You cannot acquire jammers. You cannot buy jammers. You cannot use jammers. Period. I told you this before. This guy was suspended. He didn't just get suspended. He was also suspended. He got his first strike after. And according to the district, he said, before buying a cell phone jammer, I did conduct research. In addition to the research, I conducted and talked to the deputy.
When used with bad intentions. That's not true. It's against FCC law. No one is supposed to have a jammer anywhere. This is LibTac's second strike with the district. The pro wrestler turned science teacher was reprimanded in 2013 after he used...
And not this one. Back in 2013, this teacher, a 50-kilogram student, has a momentum of 500 as the teacher launches towards the wall. What is the velocity of the student heading towards the wall?
Violent questions on the test, referencing the velocity of a student thrown. They felt that he needed to be suspended this time. He hadn't learned a lesson in the past. Parents say it's a lesson for students to follow district policy and turn off phone.
And then after that, he was fine. If he did this again, he could face jail time and sometimes probation. So, what I gotta say here is, do not be using a jammer. It is illegal. Now, let's talk about truancy. With the COVID-19, with schools closing because of the COVID-19, I thought we're getting to more truancy. Because years ago, we talked to you about truancy. We looked at some articles explaining this, and 1 year ago, because here in Oasis County, truancy is a big issue. And the rules say if you have 10 or more absences, you are required to go to court. Not you and not just you and the parents. The school district is going to be there. So if you have a lot of unexcused absences, you could be sent to truancy court. So the bottom line here is this. We don't need to raise the truancy rates up here in the Oasis County. We need to bring them down. You might be asking, well, how can we do that? Stay in school. The best place for all teenagers to be is in school. That's it. Even if, there needs to be a system in place where if teens decide to skip school, they can just be sent to jail. Like in this case, this was like 8 years ago. This judge these students were arrested and taken to court. And not only that, parents were arrested for this. Not just kids. Parents, you need to make sure when when the next school year comes after this virus, you need to make sure that your kid stays in school. And you're probably going to be saying, well, how will I know? There's an app called Life 360. Have your teenagers download the app to make sure that they know they're in school. It's a tracking app. If they tell you that they're at school, you look at their Lab 360, and you're thinking they're at school. No, that's not how it works. The only time you were able to leave the school building is if, only if, you sign your kids out. That's it. You can't have your kids leave class because they want to go get lunch. There's a new policy in place that the Flower Bluff School District has, and I agree with that policy. You cannot get food delivery here. You can't leave class. You can't leave class, period. Otherwise, if you do, there's disciplinary action. You could be disciplined. And there's always truancy officers in schools. Parents, listen, if your kids say skip school a lot, they're not going to get their driver's license. And it's not harassment. I mean, what needs to happen here is that there needs to be a sweep bus. Meaning there needs to be a bus that sweeps all around after the run. There needs to be another bus that sweeps all around to make sure there's no kids leaving the school property. If they leave, I mean, if they see a student, they just pick them up and then just drop them off at the school. Another thing, I mean, there are times when you just don't want to go in the school building. I mean, let me tell you something right now. People just don't want to go in the cafeteria, come in the school building. They just rather hang out in the parking lot. Look, you can't do that. There are several reasons why. Drugs, alcohol, making out. Once you arrive on school property, park your vehicle, then go in the building. That's it. No leaving the building before school hours, so go get some taco stand, whatever. You stay in the building. You stay in the building, stay in the cafeteria. You can't do that. And for the love of God, stop making these videos of you skipping school for videos. I mean, I don't care. You need to be in school. There's like two people. Can't cut class because of some YouTube video. You really think YouTube is going to get you an education? No, it's not. It's not going to get you an education. There are several reasons why kids ditch because they don't want to go eat lunch. It's like, can I go get a drink? And then you just leave the building. I don't care if you're too cool for school. I don't care if you're going to buy a brand new dog. I don't care. Get yourself the best education you can get. Otherwise, you could be arrested. You could be sent back to school from a police officer or from your parents. Skipping school's not a game. It is a very serious issue. And if you decide to skip school a lot every day, again, truancy court. That's that. Truancy court. We're back in a moment with no cell phones in classes. I'll explain why. Look, when we all go to school, we expect to get education, right? When I went to school, I saw people on their cell phones and stuff. I mean, let me tell you right now. Back then, cell phones or cellular devices were prohibited in the building. You can't use them during passage periods during your lunchtime. Never, ever. Not allowed in this building. Not to be seen. Now there's this thing that 505C is calling the bring your own device policy. That's where you bring your own devices. I mean, that started back during the 2014-2015 school year. It was to where they thought you can use the device during passing periods and in the cafeteria. But one or two, 3 years ago, they changed it up to where the only time you're able to take out that phone is if you're in a classroom and a teacher gives you permission to take out your phone. I'm fine with that rule, but I don't think everybody is following that rule. Why? Because nobody reads the handbook. I mean, it states right there in the handbook. And all buses should have that same cell phone policy. No phones on the buses. The logic of this is that it interrupts it's a distraction to the bus driver. Think about it. Loud music. Can't think. Can't see. Done. Can't see, can't think. Done. Bus crashes. You're being blamed. Also another reason here is that it can cause a crash. I mean the bus driver's trying to drive, you're sitting over there showing her your picture, and then bam, car crash. That's why cell phones should not be allowed on the bus, because it's a distraction to the driver. You know, I would think, well, there's nothing to do on the bus. I get that, but that's why phones are prohibited on the bus, because of all this. Because it's distraction. Don't sit and argue with me. Don't sit and argue saying, well, I don't care. Saying that you don't care about, all you care about is just, all you care about is being bored. I don't care if you're bored. Can't use your phones or, you're not even in the bathroom. You're in the bathroom to do your business. You can't be in there using your phone. Because if you do, you're in trouble. In the locker room, that's the three places where cell phones are prohibited. In the bathroom, in the locker room, and on the bus. So the only time you're able to take out that phone is when you're in the classroom and the teacher gives you permission to take out your phone. That's that. That's something for you to learn next school year. Just understand. When we come back here, Officer Rivera, some people call him Dude, who years ago was fired for not filing a police report. We'll hear his story next. Welcome back, guys. On our first Give Me a Break, we talked about skateboarders trespassing, gave you the two-part series on skateboarders trespassing, where I told you that You can't be skateboarding on private property even though there's no trespassing sign. Just because there's no trespassing sign does not mean you can trespass on private property. Well, we focused in on one case. Officer Rivera, some people call, we didn't focus in on one case. Officer Rivera, some people call him dude. I'm not dude. I am Officer Rivera. He was fired. After that video, he was fired. But there was more to that. I mean, there was more than being fired. I mean, he was being loud, did not file a police report, etc. That video is going to be teaching people a lesson. No trespassing on private property. There needs to be no trespassing signs all around, which what we have to do is make sure that none of it happens again in a homelessness. I mean, the homeless people don't understand. You can't trespass on private property. You trespass on private property, you're going to be arrested. You're going to be arrested for trespassing. And, of course, jail time. No excuses. There's just literally no excuse. No excuse. Just today, I saw a homeless person when I was doing my job. When I was outside doing my job, I saw a homeless person. I was gonna let the manager know, hey, there's a homeless person. He was like, just leave him alone. It's like, he's sleeping on our property. No one's doing anything about it. They're saying, okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it? Really? Do not worry about it? No. You need to worry about it for several reasons why. It's because Joe Crib was trying to get homeless people off the streets, and you're saying, don't worry about it. We have to make sure that homeless people are not trespassing on private property. And if that happens, then the biggest thing ever, the biggest thing that can happen, is that the homeless population is going to be rising up. We can't have that happen, period. Just make sure you guys know that. And if you're not going to understand it, just call the non-emergency number and then they'll take care of it. Let's not trespass on private property, because if that happens, you're going to be arrested. That's all for this edition. Give me a break Monday. We'll see you again next time. We'll see you again. Give me a break Wednesday at our same time. Good night.